Hey guys, Blade Blubber here with another knife review. This one's going to be on the benchmade 755 MPR, and I just want to go ahead and say I'm really excited to do this review. This is one of my favorite blades that I've gotten recently. All around beautiful knife. So many cool things about it, a couple not so cool things about it, but we're going to get around to those things. But first I just want to tell you also that this is a knife that's based off of a custom knife made by a custom knife maker named Shane Sibbert. He makes a couple other knives, makes some pretty nice designs, real beautiful knives. But this is Benchmade's take on his custom version. From Benchmade, this knife comes with a satin finish blade and a black blade. Like I said, this is the 755 MPR, and MPR stands for Mini Pocket Rocket. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and go through the specs. The blade's 2.90 inches, so just under 3 inches. So you should be able to carry this in most states in the United States without having any problems with law enforcement. The blade steel is M390 stainless, which this is the first knife I have in this steel, so I didn't have a lot of experience with it. But I'll tell you, I did some research, and I'll tell you everything I know. Basically, it's just a hard steel. It's a very tough steel that it'll hold the edge for a very long time, but it's going to be a little bit harder to sharpen. And it's been working pretty good for me so far. The blade does have jimping on the back, but it's pretty useless. It's pretty much just there for looks. It's not very sharp at all and doesn't really do anything to hold your thumb in. It has ambidextrous thumb studs, which do work pretty good. No weird problems with that. You can flick the knife out nice and easy. It has kind of this blood groove thing in there that kind of makes it look cool. It's just kind of for effect, though. It doesn't really do anything. And it does have a hollow grind blade. The blade thickness is 0.164 inches, so it does have a pretty thick blade. So it's not going to be the best slicer, but it sure is sharp now. The overall weight on this knife is 5.50 ounces, so it's almost it's about 5.5 ounces. So it's a pretty heavy knife for the size. 3-inch blade. It is a pretty stubby looking knife, and for that it is pretty heavy. But I don't really care because I don't really even notice it in my pocket, so I kind of like the extra weight. And it is a very strong knife. It's pretty much built like a tank. Alright, now onto the handle. The handle and the closed length is 3.80 inches. So still the handle is not very big, but I can still get all 4 of my fingers on there with a nice saber grip. The lock it has on the handle is a mono lock that it says on the Benchmade website. It's basically just a frame lock, and that titanium goes down there. It's not I don't know if you could call it a frame lock. I do, but because it is pretty much the liner in there, that's the locking mechanism. The whole locking mechanism and this part of the scale on this side of the knife is titanium, along with the pocket clip, and this side of the scale has no liner. Let me get my light out for you. Streamlight Stylus Pro. This side right here has no liner, and this side has the titanium liner. Does have an adjustable pivot screw and green G10 handles. You can take this knife apart if you need to clean it or something, but besides that, I don't know why you would want to. The handle gets some nice traction. Like I said, the jimping's pretty much useless on it, but the finger choil and just the overall shape of the handle gives it pretty good ergonomics, and you don't have to worry about slipping your hand on the handle. I'm going to talk about the pocket clip. The pocket clip is really something that I did not like in this knife. It has to stay here. It can't be moved to any other side. It has to stay in tip down, right-handed. So sorry, lefties. And if you don't like it tip down, that kind of, sucks. I don't really care, but I prefer tip up. But, it works. But it is titanium. It's very rigid. And if you have thick enough material on your pants, it can't even slip onto some pants pockets I've seen. Most of them it can, but I've had a couple pairs of pants where it's too, the material's too thick to even fit the knife on, so, the pocket clip pretty much sucks. But, once you, when it is in your pocket, clipped onto your pocket, it's very, secure feeling in your pocket, and you really know that it's not going to fall out. And so, I've pretty much gotten used to the pocket clip, and I don't really mind it that much anymore. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of talk about the use that this knife could be used in. All kinds of uses for this. One of the main ones I think would be a defensive knife. If you ever need to defend your life with a knife, sorry. If you ever need to defend your life with a knife, then this could be a good choice, especially if your laws are more strict and you can't have any more than a 3-inch blade, which I know is the law in a lot of places. This is just under 3 inches. So if you want a good tactical knife for defense, but you still want to stay within your laws, this could be a great option for you. I know it is for me. But you could also use this for all kinds of just normal everyday carry tasks, like cutting open boxes, packages, food preparation, everything. Works good for all that too. So there are many uses for this thing, and like I said, it's very strong, no blade play at all. Very strong tank-like knife. Anything else on here? I did, when I got this from the factory, it was very dull. It didn't even really have a utility edge on it. It was not sharp at all. And, it really made me disappointed. So I sent it into Benchmade's Life Sharp service, and, for $5 to cover shipping and handling, they sharpened it up to a razor sharp edge. Now it's, just razor sharp, pops hairs and everything like that. So, I don't know if I just got a defect, but, mine did come very dull, but now it's nice and sharp, and I love it even more. So overall, on the Benchmade 755 MPR, great knife for dozens of uses, pretty much anything you can imagine, for a folder of its size. And even it can compensate for its small size. Trust me, you can get jobs done with this that you could not do with other knives that are the same size, just because this knife is so strong and such well built. Great job, Benchmade. Very few problems. I definitely recommend this knife. That's it on this Benchmade 755 MPR. Blade Blabber out.